Hey guys, Dr. Decks here. Today we are trimming out the deck. We're wrapping some posts, we're wrapping some beams, and then we're waiting on materials, so we might shift gears and head over and start installing some hand railing. So if you like what you see, don't forget to click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon to be notified when we're putting out fresh content. All right, so what's going on today is we have Mackenzie and Nazee over wrapping some posts, and I'm prepping a beam for wrap as well. So we have just enough material to get one more post wrapped, and then we're waiting on supplies till tomorrow, unfortunately. It is what it is. And then, so to keep us busy for the rest of the day, we're gonna probably start setting some cable rail posts. It'll just keep us busy for the rest of the day until our supplies show up tomorrow.
Words of wisdom or what? The theme of the day already, and it's only like 10 o'clock, is perseverance, because we tried putting these up on Friday, but it started really pouring on us, and these guys gave us a lot of trouble. So a job we thought was going to take us just a couple hours is taking us a day, probably and a half. So we'll get this done. We got one more post that we could wrap with what we have material-wise. But yeah, I mean, it's Monday. Stuff happens. You know?
All right, so the client wants us to wrap the beams and posts, right? So we have these metal brackets that are kind of in our way for being able to attach some things. So what we do is we take a router and we route out the area that these bolts, mostly it's for these bolts, and I could probably just drill 3 holes and drill out where those bolts are, but then there's still this 1/8 inch plate. So we just route it out like this. And then when we put this together, it sits nice and flat so that we don't have any issues with the metal.
So that tops it off.
Stuff we get from a local place around where we're from. So I'm just gonna spray a little bit here, spray a little bit there. Just using my thumbnail here. It works pretty good. It dissolves it up real nice. Does not damage the finish of the plank at all. I already did one up here. I thought maybe somebody might be able to use that. We have the post wrap that we can, because we're short on materials today. So what the guys are doing now is they're putting a small detail wrap around the beveled top cap that we did. It's mostly for looks, and it does look really good. We're butt joining all of our parts, because miters, we just believe, will not stay together over the long term. And then once they're done with that, they're gonna do a matching one down below in a thicker material, just again for looks. So once those are done, then the post wraps are finished. So we'll get 4 of those done today, maybe 5 if we're lucky. Plus we'll have the beam wrapped, and then we just have 2 left to do once we receive supplies tomorrow. You there?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that looks good. When we're trimming a deck, you'll see a lot of butt joints instead of miters. With PVC decking and cap composites, miters don't stay together as well as butt joints do. Everybody's different, but that's just the way we do it. In the Pacific Northwest, things move a lot. As they do in other parts of the country as well, I realize that. But we get just as hard of a temperature shift in Washington State as you do in Florida or California or anywhere else in the country. So what we do a lot is we will stop our boards, and then I'll put like a beauty cap on the end of this. But when you cut PVC, usually the core color is a different color than the outside. So what I do is I get color matched end grain paint. I usually just go to Home Depot, and then I file and I paint the end grains of the sides of my board that I'm about to install, so they don't look like this. Instead, they're filed and have a nice detail. This is still wet, it's still drying. But as you go around this deck, you'll pick up on the subtlety nuances of all of our butt joints as you go around, and you'll see those. So we just do our best to make them as attractive as possible. There's another method I've been messing around with where I actually cut the skin, the capstock, I cut the capstock right off the outside edge of the board, and then I'll glue it to the outside edge of whatever board I'm trying to conceal. But it's very time consuming, and there's a budget for everything. So if I have it in the budget, I'll take the time and do stuff like that. But if it's not, then I just have to produce as well. So that's what this is all about, is making it look as good as we can, and then be able to cap this off like this, just so it looks really nice. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like what you saw today, don't forget to click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon if you want to be notified every time we're putting out new content. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.